Okay, sit yourself onto your lift and then just come into a good balanced crossed leg position, making sure that your seat bones feel level and evenly balanced. So that can take a few moments just to sit and to observe. So spend a moment just holding onto your knees, just making sure that there is genuine levelness at the seat bones. Because all too often you see people in classes, they're kind of desperate to move on to the next stage and they don't really notice the stage that they're at. So just asking people to sit and observe sometimes is a little challenging because they want to move on, but until you observe, there's no point in moving on. So just take deep inhalations, fill in the lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom. Listen to the breath and observe it. Observe the duration of the in-breath and the duration of the out-breath. Breathe evenly into both lungs and evenly out of both lungs. Look at the floor, keep your eyes still in the sockets, just look at something that doesn't move. Just look at something that doesn't move so that the eyes remain still in the sockets and just go back to the seat bones. And after a little while, you'll observe once and for all whether they're level or not, and just adjust if necessary. Bring your hands into Namaste, press the palms firmly together, lengthen from your armpits into your elbows. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Just focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Breathing evenly into both lungs, breathing evenly out of both lungs, correcting the breath if it's not even. So even seat bones, even body sensation, even breath. With an exhalation, draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lift your chest up to meet your chin. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Just spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area, and then release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb, a gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence, and of peacefulness that we can carry into our practice as an intention. And then raise your head and allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. So hold onto your knees. Concept of physical intelligence is partly the ability to see through the skin, to feel where the body is in 3 dimensions, to see the body that the eyes can't physically see. So to draw your attention into the skin and into the flesh and into the muscles and the ligaments, to feel balance at the seat bones, to feel that the body is in 3 dimensions. You can orientate yourself in 3 dimensions. So take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side. As you turn, acknowledge resistance, acknowledge physical freedom where there is no resistance. Feel parts of the body that the eyes can't see. Observe yourself in 3 dimensions. Observe the balance of the seat bones, balance of the feet. Use an exhalation to intensify the turn, turning not from the neck but from the abdomen. Drawing the belly button across so that the belly button points at the right knee and beyond it. Turn the ribs, turn the shoulders, but keep the neck soft. Come back to the center, hold onto your knees. Just feel the body responding to release from the previous pose. Observe how the body feels now. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Again, observing your body's physical response to the pose. Listen to the breath. Draw your abdomen across and your ribs and your shoulders. Observe the balance of the seat bones, the balance of the feet, and make a conscious effort to see the body that the eyes can't see. If you're looking straight ahead, then you probably can't see very much of the body. So feel it in 3 dimensions. Use the out breaths to intensify the turn, acknowledging where there is resistance, acknowledging where there is freedom, and balancing your attention between the 2. Come back to the center. Come off your lift and then sit back on your heels. Sit back on your heels and wriggle into your hips. Gently press the shin bones into the floor. Press the shin bones into the floor and then elevate heart area upwards. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then come forwards, lengthening forwards, extending into the arms. Just feel how the lower back stretches out as you come forwards. Just use a block underneath your head if you need to restrict the extension of the lower back. Bring your forehead down. Keep the seat bones down on the heels, and you'll know that they're down on the heels because you can feel it. So even if they're just gently touching, bring the heels down onto, or the seat bones down onto the heels, and maintain that sensation of connection. So I often think that we have innate physical intelligence. We can put our hand into our pockets and we can identify between our keys and our watch and our, you wouldn't have your watch in your pocket obviously, keys in your wallet is what I meant, and your phone. You can feel which is which. It's physical intelligence. It's seeing through feeling. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Keeping the breath deep and soft. See the body in 3 dimensions. Don't be in a rush to move into the next pose. Observe this one. Observe this one because this is now. Observe the present moment because the present moment is actually all we have. And we can choose to observe it, we can choose to be in the present, or we can live in the past or live in the future. They say that if we live in the past, we live with depression. If we live in the future, we live with anxiety. But if we can live in the present moment, then we're okay. The present moment is a time where we can do something about. We can't do anything about the past. We can only do something now to shape the future. Come up onto your knees. Have your hands as wide apart as the mat. Have your feet as wide apart as the mat, and then come up into dog down. Just feel how your dog down feels right now. Every time you come into it, it will feel different. And it's our ability to observe and activate that means that we go beyond just pure physical movement and into asana. So be in the pose, feel the pose, and observe how, if there is discomfort, how to activate your way out of that discomfort. If there's strong sensation in the shoulders, then activate the legs. Push the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Lengthen the legs away from the hands. Push the hands into the floor. Lift the seat bones. Keep the breath deep and soft and conscious. Step your feet forwards, come up into a standing position. then have blocks for your hands if you're going to do half uttanasana. Just have them there anyway, just put some blocks for your hands. And then bring your feet as wide apart as your mat. So you'll know that your feet are as wide apart as your mat when you can feel the edge of the mat on the outside edge of the heel, where you can feel the edge of the mat with the little toe. So make sure that you can feel the edge of the mat. And then the outside edge of the foot will be in line with the edge of the mat, even if it's gone over the edge very slightly. Hold on to your hips and lift up into the chest. Elevate the heart area upwards. Tighten your kneecaps and turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Maybe you observe that you give yourself space in your hips. Bring the elbows back. Keep the head lifted and hinge at the hips. Come forwards, lengthening forwards, keeping the chin extending away from the thighs. If you're going into half uttanasana, if you're protecting your back, then bring your hands down onto your hips. Otherwise, keep coming forwards, but keeping the back dead straight. Keep the shoulder blades drawing into the front of the chest, keeping the head lifted. That's the priority. So we're just hinging entirely at the hips. And then you can release your arms. If you're doing full uttanasana, hook the thumbs into the crease of the elbows, wrap your fingers around your elbows and hang down. But in both Ardha Uttanasana and Uttanasana, the action needs to begin at the legs, lifting the shins out of the ankle socket. Feel where your weight is in your feet. Is it in your toes, or can you hit your shins back to bring your weight into your heels? Is it the centre of the heel that makes contact? Keep the kneecaps tightened, keep the fronts of the thighs turning inwards, keep the backs of the thighs lifting from the back of the knee towards the seat bones. In full uttanasana, extend consciously into the spine. In half uttanasana, definitely extend consciously into the spine. Breathe even, deep inhalations and exhalations. Just release your hands down to the floor and come into half uttanasana. So use the blocks if you need it, or just extend forwards. Just observe how in half uttanasana from uttanasana, how maybe your weight changes on your feet. So just work to maintain the balance of the feet into the heels. Project the chin and the chest forwards. So everyone come up onto the blocks just to give you height, and then just observe how much you can extend into the spine. It probably feels too high, but just enjoy that sensation of extension. So be right up on the high end of the blocks. Be on your fingertips. Try not to put too much weight in your hands. Hit the legs back instead. Bring your left block into the centre of the mat, underneath your chest. Keep your left hand on your hip, left hand on the block. Bring the right hand into the small of the back, and then extend the spine away. And then turn to the right side. But as you turn, do it with consciousness of the legs, of the heels, of the hips, of the spine, maintaining that deep extension of the spine. Deep extension of the legs, even extension of the legs. Just come back to the centre. Just have both blocks underneath the shoulders. Project the chin and the chest forwards. And then bring the right block in the middle of the mat underneath your chest. Bring your left hand into your hip. And then go back to the legs. Just this on its own is going to disturb the legs. So bring the legs back into evenness. Extend deeply into the spine. And then turn to the left. Keeping the spine elongated as you turn. That's the priority. Keeping the legs activated, keeping those fronts of the thighs turning inwards. Okay, and then come back to the center. Just lengthening chin and the chest away. Breathing even. Deep inhalations. Bring your hands down to the floor. If you can't reach, you can bend your knees. Walk your hands towards the end of your mat. Have your hands shoulder width apart this time. And then bring the feet hip width apart. Stay on the tiptoes. Activate your legs. Push the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Feel how the body responds to the pose. Observe how the pose feels now in comparison with how it felt at the beginning. Maintain the observation of the pose. And then just bring your knees down to the floor and then sit yourself back onto your heels, observing how the body feels on the inside, how the energy has changed just through those extended limbering sequence. Just observing the physical body, observing the balance of energy as much as when we were in the pose, observing the balance of observation. Just listening to the breath. Okay, so I want you to fold the left side of the mat over a little, and then if you've got a blanket handy, have a blanket and fold it so that it covers the whole of that heart, that little section, and then come onto your knees. Have a block on the right side of the mat. So parighasana is the gate pose. That's what we're going to do. So just have the feet as wide apart as the hips this time. So feet apart, knees apart, and just feel how the legs just sink into the blanket. We're using the blanket because it's easier to keep your shins down on the floor, and we need to keep the shins down for this. So press the shins into the floor and then come up onto your knees. So at this stage, have your hands on your hips, but really work to press the shins into the floor. It's not as easy as it sounds, is it? You have to really work to consciously press the shin bone into the shin skin. Bring your right knee forwards, but keep that left shin consciously pressing into the mat. You should feel the front of your thigh really activate as a result. Bring the foot out to the side. Now we're going to use the front edge of the mat to guide our alignment. So maintain that shin pressing itself into the floor. And just like in Trikonasana, we're going to turn this right leg. And then you're going to stretch that leg out, bring the foot onto the block. Now you want a slight gradient here, you don't want it to kind of bulge out like that. So a slight gradient here. And then just use the front edge of the mat to guide your alignment. Press that shin into the floor. Turn this right leg from the big toe side to the little toe side. Come over to the side, slide the hand down. Turn the chest up to face the ceiling, but don't lose the shin of that left leg. Reach up and over, extending over. That hand should be directly over the foot. Reaching over. You can turn the palm up to face the ceiling of that right hand, bend the elbow along the shin to come down a little more, but keep the chest turning up to the ceiling. Keep the belly button turning up to the ceiling. Breathe. Look underneath the armpit. Okay, coming back to the center. Just bring that leg back in. Oh, yeah, not that easy, is it sometimes? And then sit back on your heels. So parighasana, the gate pose, surprisingly challenging, isn't it? But it really gets that length of the side ribs. It really gets the energy flowing. So we'll do the other side. So fold over the right side of the mat. Have the blanket, if you're using it, on top of that. And then unfold the other end and have the block for your foot. And then come down onto your knees. Have your knees as wide apart as your hips, your feet as wide apart as your hips. And then just sit back on your heels for a moment. Sit back on your heels. And again, just observe your energy. Consciously push the shins into the floor. Press the shin bone into the shin skin so that the thighs activate, almost like you want to kind of kneel up. Press the shins into the floor and then physically kneel up, but keep the shins in contact with the floor. It's much harder than it sounds, isn't it? Keep the shins down. Bring the left leg forwards. Keep that shin down. Bring the left leg out to the side. Just again using the front edge of your mat to guide the alignment. Turn this left leg. Keep the shin down. And then stretch the foot out. Bring the foot onto the block. Just the toes onto the block. And turn. Again, you want to have a little... you don't want this hip to be sticking out. So there's a little kind of mini gradient there. So make sure you're wide enough so that there's that little gradient. Turn this leg, press the shin into the floor. So Abigail, it looks like you're more like that. So see if you can get, it might be the camera angle, of course, but just have that hip kind of in a little further than the knee. Lift up into the chest, turn that thigh and keep the chest forwards, slide the hand down, the shin, drawing the abdomen up to the ceiling all the time, drawing the chest up to the ceiling all the time. Reach up and over, feeling that tremendous stretch on the right side of the body. Keep the shin down. Turn the palm if you can, bend your elbow and reach over. Look, just make sure that hand is in line with the foot. And then look up underneath the armpit. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, keeping the shin down. Consciously pushing that shin into the floor. Okay, coming back to center. And then bring yourself back down onto your shins. So parighasana, the gate pose. Just sit back on your heels, observe your energy. So surprisingly strong pose, isn't it? Okay, come up off the lift once you've recovered. Just move the blanket, and then we're going to come back into dog down. Have the hands shoulder width apart, have the feet hip width apart, and then come up. Just observe how your body feels in dog down this time. Every time you come into the pose, maybe it feels a little better, maybe it doesn't, but just observe that where perhaps there was resistance the first time we went into it. This morning my shoulders felt really resistant, really stiff. And now they feel a little lighter. There's a bit more space there. Just observe how your breath flows. Observe the body in 3 dimensions. Feel where the hands are. Feel the backs of the hands. Feel the straightness of the back or otherwise. Push the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Feel the backs of the thighs broadening outwards. Keep your breath deep, soft and gentle. So from here we're going to go into rajakapotasana. If you want to come down onto your knees and just follow the rest of the instructions from your knees, just in the kind of standard classic way of coming into it, then do. But otherwise we're going to come into it from dog down. Excuse me. Okay, so from here you're going to bend your right knee, swing the right knee forwards, make contact with the right wrist with the right knee. Leave the right foot underneath the left thigh, bring the left leg down onto the floor, and then stretch that left leg away. Come up onto your fingertips and turn consciously that back leg, turn it inwards, the front of the thigh inwards, like you're doing dog down and like you're doing tadasana. Turn the front of the thigh inwards so that the back of the thigh broadens outwards, so that you feel the hips come level. Lengthen into the toes, press the shin of that back leg into the floor, and then lengthen up into the chest. Breathe even. Deep inhalations and exhalations. Just feeling the body in 3 dimensions. And then bring palms flat down onto the floor. Turn the toes under that back foot, and then step yourself back, either just onto your knees or back into dog down. Again, observe how your dog down feels different. It might not necessarily feel better, but it might feel different. Just observe where it doesn't feel better and just work into the pose to activate areas in its mirror image. So if the middle of the back feels kind of compressed, then activate the thighs. Activate the fronts of the thighs, pushing them through to the backs of the knee to stretch out the spine. Bend the front knee, bend the left knee forwards, bring it forwards to make contact with the left wrist. Bring the right leg down with the left foot underneath the hip. Walk that right leg away. Keeping that front of the thigh turning inwards, come up onto your fingertips. Turning that back leg so that the hips come level. And then lift up into the chest. Lengthening into the back leg, pressing the shin of that back leg into the floor. Lifting up into the chest. And then bring the palms flat down into the floor. Turn your toes under that back leg. Walk in a little and then push yourself up back into dog down, or come back onto all fours. And from all fours, if you can, go into dog down, come back up into dog down. Otherwise, can go into supta. So we've done lots of dog down this morning. It's a good pose for grounding ourselves, for bringing our attention into the body. It's also really good for the internal organs, really, really good for the liver. So it's a really healthy, active pose. Everyone come down onto your knees and then sit back on your heels. Again, just observe your energy, observe how your energy has changed. So sometimes, however reluctant we might feel to practice our yoga when we get up in the morning, there's this feeling. This feeling makes all of the effort worthwhile. That sensation of physical lightness radiating from the inside. Bring in lightness, increasing physical intelligence. Bring in your attention into the present moment. Come forward, stretch the hands forward, and then come into Adho Mukha Virasana. So, a huge amount of our yoga practice is just in that first act of observation. Because without observation, there's no penetration into the pose beyond just feeling like you're doing a bit of gymnastics. The observation is the key to physical intelligence. Physical intelligence is, alongside the breath, the conduit into the present moment. So we just spend our time in the pose, just observing it for imbalance, and then activating it for balance. Continual cycle of observation and activation, which leads to sensitivity. And that sensitivity, again, draws us into the present moment. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and then push yourself back up into sitting on your heels, just into virasana. And again, just observe the feeling of the physical body, that feeling that you have extended, that you've given yourself energy. Just sit yourself in cross legs. Just come into swastikasana or half padmasana, or maybe even full padmasana, but just a position that you can sit and stay in it in comfort. So if you need to sit on a lift in order to keep the knees down, then do that. Hold on to your knees in whichever pose you have brought yourself into, and then just observe. Observe your balance. Do your seat bones feel even? Again, if they don't, then just adjust the buttock flesh, draw the buttock flesh out to the side so that you can find evenness. Focus on filling the lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom. Observe how the chest rises upwards and outwards to accommodate the inhalation, and lowers and relaxes to accommodate the exhalation. Aim to breathe evenly into both lungs. Just using the breath and the consciousness of the sensations of the physical body to bring your attention into the present moment. Take a deep inhalation, and then with an exhalation, turn to the right side. Observing how pose feels different to how it felt at the beginning. Draw your abdomen across and your ribs across and your shoulders across, observing physical resistance if there is any, observing physical freedom. Drawing the abdomen across, using the out breath to intensify the turn. Turning from the abdomen and the ribs and the shoulders, but keeping the neck soft, just looking forwards. And then come back to the center, hold onto your knees. Take a deep inhalation. And then turn to the right side, the left side, sorry, the other side. Maybe observe how your sinuses feel a little clearer. So we can thank parighasana for that. That trikonasana type shape just helps to clear out the sinuses. And then very gently come back to the center. Hold onto your knees and just be in the body, be in the seat bones, be in the skin. Just observing the physical body in 3 dimensions, seeing the physical body that the eyes can't see. And then gently release. Come down onto your back. Have a folded blanket for your head. Just come down onto your back. Have the blanket underneath your head. And then pull your knees in toward your chest. And then stretch the legs up to the ceiling, holding onto the edges of the mat, just to give you extension in the spine. Keep the sacrum, spine in contact with the floor. If you struggle to lift your legs, you can put a block or a bolster underneath your hips, just to give you extension. Breathe even deep inhalations and exhalations. And then bend your knees, bring your feet back down onto the floor. And then stretch your legs out, just come briefly up onto your elbows, just make sure you're in a really good straight line right down the centre of your mat. Have the blanket underneath your head, rest your arms down into the floor, let your legs fall apart. Observe the energy that you have released through your practice. If you let the physical body go, if you let the physical body become consciously heavy by unhooking the muscles of the arms and the legs, then you become conscious perhaps of that sensation of physical lightness that radiates from the bones and into the muscles. Into the muscles and the organs. To the flesh and the skin. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness down into the toes and into the legs and into the fingers and the arms and the chest and the torso, and all the way up into the top of the head. Basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. Just enjoying the sensations of physical lightness radiating from the bones and into the muscles and the organs. And then very gently wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers. Just bring yourself back into this pose of shavasana. And then bend your knees, bring your knees in toward your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And then very gently roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just a final cross legs with your hands In the Masti, just a final spinal lift. Draw your breath in through your nose down into the abdomen. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the inversions bring to the body and to the mind. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees. Palms facing upwards. Keeping the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb for a moment. Just a gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry with us into our day. And then open your eyes, bring your focus back. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining me. So hopefully you feel as though you have really lifted your energy, changed your mindset a little into one of kind of positivity, and you've given yourself lots of good energy to put into your day. So thank you very much for joining me.